Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Brand New Gig. If you're joining us for the first time on this fine Tuesday evening, thank you so much. And if you are a returning watcher, we are so glad to have you back. Now, before I get this show rolling and before I introduce our lovely guest, we have a little announcement on behalf of the channel. If you have noticed, and if you are watching on YouTube, our channel was formerly known as Ghost and Friends. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you will notice that that has changed, and that is because we have rebranded to Total Coverage Sports. Now, what this means for you in terms of content is nothing. It means you will still be getting all the same content, all sports, all conferences, all year. The only thing that changes is the look, and with a new look comes merchandise. Yay! Everyone get excited. All my Aggie faithful, you will be able to purchase merchandise in a beautiful maroon color. And if you are going to choose to exercise your free will by purchasing merchandise in, let's say, a burnt orange color, that is your prerogative as well. I will not encourage or discourage you from doing so. So with all that being said, please go ahead and click the subscribe button to show support for our new rebrand. And if you don't support the rebrand, still click the subscribe button, because I think we just need to have a reshifted mindset and know that change is good. So click that subscribe button, and now we can get the ball rolling. I can introduce my guest, a former All-American tight end at Texas A&M. Some may say was snubbed of the John Mackey Award, and a back-to-back USFL champion with the Birmingham Stallions. Join me in welcoming Jace Sternberger.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time. I wanted to start out actually by saying I appreciate your buy-in, because as a lot of us were doing on Saturday, doom scrolling on Twitter amidst this game, I did notice that you were also live tweeting and also doing
Yeah,
some light Twitter trolling, which there's no shame in that. We love that over here.
right. Just something I have to talk it out, and I was at a place where I was watching it where it was pretty quiet, and so I couldn't really express myself the way I wanted to without looking like a psychopath. So
Yeah. Twitter is a very open forum, as we know, and we'll get into that later, because there is one particular person that is still tweeting today, 3 days later, removed from this game. So, with that being said, there's one more announcement, another one, as DJ Khaled would say, and we are not doing Off the Ledge today. For those of you who don't know, Off the Ledge is our unlicensed therapy segment, and the reason we are not doing that today, although many of you may need it, is because we are just going to enjoy the win. We are going to enjoy the fact that we are 3-0, we are undefeated going into the bye, and we have exercised many demons. So just enjoy a Saturday of college football stress-free and walk yourself off the ledge. I think we can do that for 1 week. So now we can get into the good stuff, which is what you're all here for. Our beautiful, lovely win against Notre Dame. Now, I want to address one thing, which obviously you all are probably a little bit concerned if we were to have this therapy session, is our defense, which I understand. But I pose the question, Jace, I pose this first question to you, is given our problem on the defensive end, do you think this is a better problem to have, given that Elko is a very defensive-minded coach, as opposed to last year, where our problem was more so getting the ball down the field, or maybe a problem like Florida or TU has right now, which is the offensive side of the ball?
um, honestly, I think you need to take in consideration, like you kind of said, Elko is a defensive-minded coach. Every offensive coordinator that we play is gonna give their best because they know what Elko's bringing to the table, and so I'm saying that to say it's still early. um we're still getting things adjusted, we're hammering the details out, and we're really just kind of going through some growing pains right now. But I feel like that's very typical. Sometimes it's the other way, like the offense might be struggling at first and the defense is picking us up, and so that's the least. I'm not worried about our defense at all. Respectfully, I think each week in, week out, the mental errors are going to go down, and we're going to become more technique. We're
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's going to be players playing 4 weeks from now that aren't playing right now, and it's just because of
Mhm.
injuries are bound to happen. There's going to be a substitute. Someone might be stepping up. Someone might not be producing the same way. Like you don't, we really still don't know what this team is going to be, and so right now you're just praying for to be injury free. But
Yeah.
that at least that's how I see it.
No, I am on the same page. I think it's very battered Aggie syndrome to be overly critical, especially just 3 weeks into the season, which obviously this Notre Dame game hopefully helped people's tensions ease a little bit and
The
week.
The what if I could answer that though, instead of saying the defense, if I was having a therapy session because it was driving me crazy watching the game is I'm not worried about the defense. The things that you need to be worried about is the pre-snap penalties. Because if we would have lost that game, people would be like, "Oh, the defense gave up 40 plus points." No, that doesn't like that. We were scoring too. Like players are going to get players are going to get paid. Like that's what they're here to do. Like
Mhm.
the talent is increasing, the skill set is increasing, but the penalties that you can't do that. And I mean, we got lucky, Marcel, and then our tights, the tight ends made an amazing play in the end zone, like in the clutch. But if we would have lost that game, it would 100% been because of penalties, and not just the holding on the kickoff return. It's the
Right.
pre-snap penalties. That's the good teams won't do that come playoffs, or
Yeah.
you won't win.
I think we had 13 penalties for 80, 90 something yards. I mean, that last drive in itself looked like we just were shooting ourselves in the foot and we're trying to find a way to
And
not win the
crucial times,
game.
we were on like the 5 yard line to win the game, and then we ended up doing it was like 3rd and 16, I think, or something like that. Like that's scary
Not a good place to be in. So
at all.
a lot of that does get lost in the craziness. Whether or not we won or lost, I think that would have kind of fallen under the rug just because it's not something that sticks out to people when you kind of review the game as a whole. But that
Yeah.
is a big concern. And I think that's discipline that Elko is known for cleaning up and not letting slide.
Yep.
So that is something that I will expect to see addressed. Given what we know about Elko, I know you were a player at A&M when Elko was our defensive coordinator. Obviously, you probably didn't interact with him as much as maybe some of the other guys, but given what you know from being around
Terrified of
him,
them.
I would be the same. I would be the same, so I don't blame you at all. And then the insight that you have from current or former players, what do you know about his culture and how have you seen that change just from year 1 to year 2?
Uh, like you said, he was just the defensive coordinator when I was there, so he wasn't as vocal as I think he is now. But I had a lot of friends that were on the defensive side of the ball at A&M, and like Buddy Johnson, like I think they would do a lot for that man. Like they would run through a brick wall if they needed to jump through a fire. Like whatever he needed, they would do. And he's just that good of a motivator. I think he's just so genuine and just tells it how it is. It
Yeah.
doesn't. You hear him in the media, it doesn't always sound like the most upbeat or happiest, but like you're just gonna get what you're gonna get. And it's like I think players just respect it at the end of the day because
Mhm.
you really there's no fake rah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Like I love the clip they just put out, and it's like at some point you have to draw the line. Like there has to be a line. Like somebody has to step up and do it. Like somebody is like you're
Kick the
calling
door down.
everybody out. You're calling everybody out, but it's like in a positive way. Like I'm calling myself out too. It's like
Right.
there's been a lot of money invested in this program. Like somebody has to do it, and so yeah, I hope that answers that. But yeah, when he threw that chair, like, I was like, that's why I was scared of him. Like I saw that in him, like because what I'm saying I had some good battles against the linebackers and safeties, and so I definitely think he got upset at times, not just because of me, but more so because they
Right.
messed up in practice. But he's terrifying. Like I said, like I would if he called me right now and needed some favor, I'm doing it
Yeah, no questions asked.
for sure.
And I think that's a big narrative that you mentioned too is, we're dropping a lot of money. We have the resources. We pretty much have everything at our disposal to win championships, and we haven't done that yet. Obviously, we thought that would have been under Jimbo. Now we have Elko year 2. How do we continue to change the narrative per se? Because I mean, you beat Notre Dame, and then if you go and lose to Auburn, that kind of just steamrolls your whole momentum shift. So how do you kind of continue to change that? Because now all eyes are on Texas A&M. I feel like.
And it's I'm not gonna lie, like I'm really glad we have a bye week this week. One, guys were banged up. They played 3 straight games, but just the emotional hangover, and it doesn't matter, like, you could preach from Monday morning, like, we're not gonna be victims of that, but it really doesn't matter who you are at the end of the day. I feel like that's tough to overcome, and, like, I couldn't like, they left everything out there on the field at Notre Dame. I was exhausted after watching the game. I felt like I was stressed out. I called my dad. Like, I was stressed
I
watching
caught a
it.
lot of people that night.
So, but I think it's when it comes down to keeping the momentum is just doing things because it would have stung to if we lost to Notre Dame, but God, it just felt different than from years past watching it. It was like we really like we really were in that game like the whole time. Like they answered, we could answer. Whatever they threw, we threw right back. And it was like the adversity we just kept overcoming. And I think that's one of those things you don't have to do anything other than what you're doing. Just keep being consistent. And I know that's something Elko preaches is one day at a time and like really trusting the process. And so I uh I think we just got to keep being ourselves and whatever the Elko identity is, just keep letting that show. Whether it's hard nosed, throwing
Please.
chairs, like just keep doing it.
Yeah,
Because
throw all the chairs you need.
I don't. Again, I'm biased, but I don't feel like we have one of those players, offense, defense, special teams, where fans of opposing teams are like, "Ugh, I don't want to root for that guy." Like,
Yeah,
"Oh, like he's not fun to watch," or "Oh, he's annoying." You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel
right.
like this team is genuinely good guys, and like, not that we weren't good guys in the past, but it's just a different, almost wholesome feeling. It's like, dang, like I'm
Yeah,
really rooting for these guys. Like, offense, defense, you can tell they really care about each other, and they're really bought into the program. And as a former player, that's what you just appreciate that.
and that's I think a big part of it too is under year 2, I don't think this early in the season oh my gosh, why is that so bright? Um, I think going into Notre Dame, most people had picked Notre Dame because A&M can't win the big one.
Hmm.
And I think that's been even the story of last season. You have Auburn and USC, like you have Marcel leading game winning drives in both of those, and whatever the case may be, blame it on the defense, blame it on penalties, blame it on the culture. We couldn't win those games. And I know this offseason, their big word was finish. Um, and given what we just saw Notre Dame, I think we kind of broke the door down and did that. I mean, I would be remiss to not be the first thing I talk about in this game, be a game-winning touchdown caught by a tight end. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big shift in itself. I don't think tight ends have been a big part of our offensive scheme since probably you or maybe Jalen Weidermeyer. I mean, we saw a resurgence when you were on the team, and then it kind of died down a bit. What have you seen specifically from our tight ends that has got you excited?
Uh, I feel like the positions is getting more and more athletic, especially more athletic than me. Like, I don't want to pronounce his first name wrong. The freshman tight end. Um,
Coyote
Coyote, that's what I thought. I
Armstrong?
just don't want
Yeah,
to. I don't want to mispronounce it. Like
I think that's right.
I know there's things that he's doing on the field physically that like a lot of us guys would dream to do of, and I know there's more talent out there, and it's they're bigger than me when I played for sure. So it's just like you can tell there's a lot of tight ends who are trying to come here and
Mhm.
develop under Elko and that mentality, and I think Elko's they're all going to be NFL ready, so I'm excited to see where they go.
Yeah, talk me through I mean, it's gotta be a little bit more special to have that be caught by a tight end, but just being an Aggie as a whole, I'm sure we all went through a range of emotions, kind of your reaction in the final 2-minute drive. I mean, starting from Bussey's house call being called back and then
Yeah, at first I stood up and I was cheering. Like I said, I really wasn't cheering. I just had my hands up. I was like air cheering because like I didn't want to be rude. I was at a family place and it was just very, it was very quiet.
Right.
And then I saw the flag and I'm like, oh no. But then I saw it was like 2 minutes and 46 seconds and I was like, eh, let's just take this drive and maybe we can run it down and get lucky and like because I really don't want to give them the ball back. And that's not a shade
Yeah,
at our defense. Like their offense was clicking. Yeah, we probably had some mental assignments and stuff like that. But I'm saying they're D1 athletes too. Like they're not just gonna lay down at home. Like they're gonna
right.
compete. They're gonna execute. Like these are two good football teams playing against each other.
Yeah.
But um yeah, and so like we're driving and once call me crazy, but it wasn't the Mario's big reception that made me feel like, oh, we're about to score. It was when Theo bounced back and caught
Mhm.
two. Like we had those, we were hitting the quick ones. Like the
Right.
explosive plays can come and go, but it's like when you're in a 2 minute and you're in a rhythm, Aaron Rodgers always says like the most important part of the 2 minute is that first completion, that first throw, because like that just sets the tone. And it's like we had a positive play the first drive. I was just like, this feels different. Then like I think we're down to the 6 or 7 yard line, and then there's two flags, and I'm like, I'm sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, this is what we're known. Like this is like we can't escape it. And then I'm not gonna lie, I was more so like I was excited it was a tight end, but I was more so it was like I'm not saying it's third string because I know they all rotate and everybody all the time we play multiple tight ends, but it was just like some guy that isn't getting all the attention right now just because there's some
Right.
other really talented guys on the team. It was like
Mhm.
for someone to step up in that moment and just I loved his quote saying that he didn't see the ball. Like that's how you know you're living right off the field. Because I relate to that because it was the second over or not the second overtime. My second touchdown against LSU in that the overtime game, we
Mhm.
ran like a little. I ran like a little wheel route and Kellen threw it perfect, but he threw it perfectly into the lights at Kyle Field, and
Mhm.
that's why if you look, I like basket catch it because I couldn't see it at
Yeah.
all. And so him saying that like
It's like
I
a
dang near
Sandlot
got
moment.
chills. So I'm just like, oh my god, like I that feeling makes me want to vomit, and that's how
Yeah.
the fact that you had to go through that, I can just imagine the feeling. So, uh, yeah, I was just happy for the guys in general. I really felt that's why I felt old because I felt like a proud dad. I was like, this is like I was genuinely happy for them.
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure he came in as more of a blocking tight end too,
Yeah,
and
and so
then
like they
Mars
always get a bad rap
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, so to see him get reps and meaningful reps, like, actually make an impact
Yeah,
on offense, like, arguably the biggest impact of that game
yeah, no,
is, I
exactly.
think, just crazy for A&M as a whole and what we've
Because
seen from
like
our
I'm
offense.
And this is no disrespect to him, but it's like I feel like if you draw that matchup on paper, if you were gonna have a tight end who was running the wheel route on a jump ball, we're probably putting Nickelback in there because I feel like he might be the most athletic out of the group and like is gonna go for a jump ball. And
Mhm.
so like you just never I don't know. It was like the fact that he was in there, I was like, okay, that was impressive to me. And he sealed them off perfectly and yeah, it was a perfect play.
Yeah, because what I saw was the play. I think Marcel wanted to go to KC, which makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
that's your guy. But, I mean, the fact that he had enough trust in Nate to see him have a one-on-one ball and trust him to get the ball in the end zone
I think it
is
was
very
instincts that
telling.
just took I think it was just instincts that took over for him. He was just like, I gotta throw it like
It's
yeah,
gotta go
'cause
somewhere.
it's got to go somewhere. I was
So,
just the biggest letdown in those situations is like when the quarterback doesn't even give your guys a chance and like he just throws it out of bounds and it's like that
yeah,
was never even close. Like
right.
once I saw the loft on it, I was like, all right, somebody's gonna touch the ball. They might
Please,
pick
yeah.
it or we might catch it, but
Someone go up and grab it.
exactly.
Which the fact that this was a 40-point game is crazy in itself because I think a lot of people expected this to be a defensive slugfest, knowing what we know about
Hmm.
Notre Dame. And I think that's very telling for Colin Klein's offense because I think he got a lot of hate last year. Whatever the case may be, obviously, Marcel's first year quarterback. You have a first year offensive coordinator. There's a lot of growing pains that come with that. What have you seen just from our offense as a whole? Do you trust Colin Klein? Did you ever not trust Colin Klein? And then what have you seen as a whole from our offense that gets you excited?
I never did not trust Colin Klein. Like I knew he was for real. My buddies Adrian Martinez was with him at K State for a little bit. Like and you don't question greatness. Like we all watched him in college. Like I get it. Oh, that doesn't mean he can call plays good. It's like no, like he's got. You saw that like he wasn't like the most athletic player in the world. He was like a grit, toughness. Like you can tell he
Mhm.
busts his ass to get where he is. So it's like the fact you got that mentality of offensive coordinators, like, and to think he's gonna put some bullshit on tape. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here. I'm sorry if
Nah,
I
we're
am.
fine. We're fine.
Okay,
This is a
I'm sorry
yeah.
for that. Uh, he's not gonna put nothing bad on tape, or at least like that's not gonna kill him. And I know
Yeah.
you like, well, all coaches say that. No, they don't. Some of them really don't care. Like they do, but those as long as those checks are coming in, they're good. He's the type. If you just watch him as a player, you know he cares. So I never doubted him. Secondly, from someone who's bounced around colleges, then was in the NFL for a couple of years, where it's the most come and go business of new faces, new hires. I know what it's like having an OC that haven't learning a whole system, and then just when you're starting to get comfortable, the coach gets fired, and then a new OC comes in. Like that's not something that you just pick up overnight, and it's like, "Oh, well, you're running the same routes," and it's like, it is, but every system has different drops and different reads and different lineman blocking progressions, and it's just there's just so many things that go into it that you can't you can't just be, like, amazing in year 1.
Right.
But, like, what I said is like, "Well, we got Marcel who has all the talent in the world. He makes good throws, he's just not as consistent," and he would even agree to that. This is last year
Yeah.
speaking. So I'm like, he's gonna have a full offseason to be the man. Colin has a whole 'nother year of teaching. Guys are getting more familiar, more comfortable. It's it's just like the process, like, it's year 3 is gonna be even better, and it's just gonna keep getting better because guys are gonna get more familiar, and then guess what? As soon as Marcel leaves, it's gonna be a little shaky because
Mhm.
this new guy, he might know this unless we get like a senior transfer, but I mean that's down the road. But I would
Right.
imagine it's going to be an underclassman or a junior who will be his
Mhm.
first time running the show. It's the same thing. Like you just got to let these guys get comfortable, and I think we're making all the progress that we're supposed to. We're exceeding expectations based on how hard people were on Colin last year. Um, like I said, it's crazy what two receivers can do. We can just change the whole dynamic of our passing game, and Bussey's coming along great. Like I said, he's going to be a monster for us on special teams. And like I said, I think we can be as good as we let ourselves. I think it'll be self-inflicted wounds that I mean everybody says that about their team, but yeah, I'm excited to say the least.
Well, the most, I think, optimistic part about this offense is, like you noted, I mean, Kellen Mond is still not totally accurate. Like we've seen in his first 3 games, like a wide open deep ball to KC, a couple missed throws against Notre Dame, whatever you want to point
Look
out
at,
in the
look at you
film.
taking shots at Kellen Mond. You said Kellen instead of Marcel.
Did I really?
Yes, look at you taking shots
Oh
at
my
Kellen.
gosh, my brain. No, I love Kellen Mond, I really do. It's an
No, we all do.
underappreciated
He
quarterback.
was great. He's one of the most underappreciated players at A&M.
No, especially after a quarterback curse, I think people have a little bit more hindsight. But no, no, Kellen, we can talk about Kellen later. No, Marcel has had inaccuracies. I mean, I think both Casey and Mario could look a lot better on paper if my gosh, if Marcel hit some of those. Not to blast Marcel, I think he's a great quarterback.
No,
But
but to your point, like, be honest, like, right now, if you yeah, game on the line, whatever, how many quarterbacks from other teams in the country right now are you taking over Marcel?
there's not many.
Like, you'd really have to think about it, and, like, it'd have to be a certain situation, but, like, I think he can throw it as good as anybody right now. I mean,
Like the ceiling of this
like,
offense has
they're
not
college
been
kids at the end
reached.
of the day. None of these guys are just lasers, and if they are, maybe I don't watch enough tape. Maybe Drew Aller, I don't know, but I like Marcel over just as good as anybody in the country. Like, I don't know who else we would rather have.
Well, and I don't think we've seen many quarterbacks this year be in that position in the first place.
Yeah.
So for him to do that not only accurately, but under that much pressure, under the lights, with the weight of so many different statistics and everything pretty much going against us, I, I'm perfectly fine with the quarterback that we've got right now.
He's starting to show more emotion on the field, like getting frustrated. I love that. I want him to like,
Because I
like
think
that was
he's more confident. He knows. I think
yeah,
last year
like that's
it
what I
was
want to see
still
is like get on people's like get mad at yourself. I don't care who I don't like everybody has different relationships, but like if you guys have like a intense relationship where you can get after it, like I don't know, I was the player I fed off that. Like that's why I loved
right.
feeling that energy from coming from teammates and you're just like, okay, this is
Well, especially your quarterback. I mean, you want him to be the leader on the field, and if it looks like he doesn't trust himself, how are you supposed to trust the offense as a whole? And I feel like we've seen him grow into his shoes very quickly and just like
yeah.
really take over this offense. I mean, in terms of explosive plays and just the way we've been able to move downfield, that is light years ahead of just what it was last year.
Like I said, it was surreal watching. It was just like I was telling who I was with watching the game. I'm just like, you don't understand. Like this doesn't happen for us. Like
Yeah.
we don't do stuff like this. Like I'm genuinely happy right now. Like we are catching the ball and getting yak. And again, I'm not dogging on any of us. Like I said, I'm in the same boat. Like I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
catching the ball and going for 75 yards. Like I was catching the ball and I'd run from South Carolina was different. I still didn't score. So it's like I'm not doing what they're doing. So don't think I'm putting
I mean,
myself
you
in
were
that.
dragging defenders like 30
I
yards
did
down
it
the
one
field.
game, right? I did it one game and he was trying to punch the ball out. It wasn't like I feel like that story's been exaggerated where it's like the dude was straddling my leg and I was like lifting him up and like
It just seemed like you were taking him and just taking him on for the ride.
no, like I said, that was definitely a cool play, but yeah, I'm honestly just jealous of them. I wish I was. I've always wanted to be like the little speed receivers.
Yeah. Well, that's a big shift too. I think a lot of what we had on offense last year was more size, and I think this year is heavily reliant on speed, which I think we saw because Notre Dame is most notably known for their defense. I don't think
Yeah,
anyone came into this game thinking that their secondary was going to be a weakness. But outside of Leonard Moore, I don't think they had any defensive backs that were above like a 60 or 50 for their coverage grade. And I don't think that's because their secondary is bad. I think that's just because our receivers have
yeah.
lived up to the hype that they were given all off season.
It was a Riley Leonard thing for me. I was just like, he's he brings so much attention to his position and like he affects the game in so many ways and has like I just knew they couldn't replicate. Like when you lose someone like that, who's a leader, and like everybody feeds off him, and like he really runs the program. Like that
Right.
was Riley Leonard. I know he just got there, but because he was from Duke, but I promise you, he was in charge of that locker room, just like our friends. I honestly don't know where Austin is in my house. If it's northeast, southwest, over in UT, Texas, they lost their guy, and people don't didn't value Quinn Ewers enough, and they were ready to ship him off for a pack of turkey.
No, Quinn Ewers
And
might be their Kellen Mond in a way.
he, yeah, like I'm saying, when you lose that leadership, it takes a while to recover from, and you're seeing it, I think. And
It's
so,
I because I think the hardest thing for people to understand is delayed gratification and they want to see immediate results on the field and forget about the non-football aspect of it. I
yeah,
mean, I think that's a big part of like Marcel was heavily responsible in getting KC to A&M in the first place. Like having a guy who people trust before they even get in the program and having
yeah,
that chemistry, I mean, that's not something that you can buy. Like that's
no,
just
not at
you either have
all.
it or you don't.
Yep,
So, regardless of the situation going on down in Austin, I really like where our offense is at right now. And I think it will only improve, as we said. I mean, there's a
yeah,
ceiling that they have not hit yet.
yeah. No, I'm fine with our offense compared to. Yeah, I'm good. I promise,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I don't have many complaints, and we have a bye week to figure out the
Was that a
tweaks.
real quote that Sarkeesian said to the fans?
Which one?
Like, don't give up on us. Like, we're
Oh,
we're we're not a bad team. Like, we're a pretty good team.
I'm not. I didn't fact check it. I saw it come across my feed, and if someone in the chat wants to verify, I do think that was real. So whatever you want to take of that. Not my program, not my circus, not my monkeys. So,
Nah,
it,
I'm loving it.
yeah, I'm not gonna. I can't speak too much on it because we haven't played them yet. So,
Yeah, no, that respect your opponent forever. That
right,
was I just loved that quote. Like that's a very motivating self-confidence thing I would say too. Like to get my team going and the
right,
fans like, hey, this is what you should come watch. Like we're pretty good.
yeah. So we will see how the season continues to progress. But obviously, we have. If we want to throw some critiques out there, I know our defense has room for improvement.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What have you seen that sticks out to you in terms of not waving the white flag, but something just to keep an eye on that you want to see improved?
I always get paranoid talking about the defense just because it's like I don't want to jinx the offense because it's football and one day there's going to be one game this year where like the offense can't move the ball at all and like we need the defense is going to save us like that's just football so it's like I'm going to be the old coach and just say again, like we have to eliminate the mental errors, whether it's that taking the wrong angles or lining up in the wrong gap. But just because obviously that leads to the physical mistakes, but the mental mistakes is like we get to where we're averaging less than 5 penalties a game, and obviously we don't see the players' mental errors. That's the one thing I don't like about the social media critics, like the people who break down tape, is because it might look bad on film, but like he might really be doing his job and he got the wrong look, or he might have really done the wrong, but he looks bad on TV. But like really, it
Right.
was the coach's mess up because he made the
Yeah.
wrong call, and that's not the case every time. But there's mental errors that the players probably go over, that the coaches go over with the players, like, hey, the tight ends this week we had 7, receivers had 4, quarterbacks had 4. It's like as an offense
Mm.
we had 24. Like in Birmingham, Skip would always say like we want our offense at like we want as a team we want to be under 20. So that means 10 offense, 10 defense, which is still a lot. Which is like it's kind of crazy to think about it. Is there's like 50 plays of off, give or take. It
Right.
depends. But for 11 players to do their job every play, and then like to only have 20, like think about how locked in that means everybody is. And so that's kind of how like I approach it. Is that I just think we need to eliminate the mistakes, and I know that's easy to say,
Oh,
but I
yeah, and
feel
to your point, I think we've been a little spoiled. Like 40 points, averaging over 40 points across 3 games is, 1, not something we saw last year, and 2, I don't think it should be something that anybody expects to last the whole year. I would love if it did, but like you said, there's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
come and
games.
go.
Yeah, there will be games where we can't even break 20,
But
and
the
I
thing is, like, the thing that if it stays consistent is like of how we overcame the adversity. Again, I keep talking about penalties, like I'm gonna go crazy if I
no,
keep
but
saying
no.
that. But it's like the way we were able to overcome like shows that adversity, because it's like you can win. You might not be able to score every game, but if you play with that energy to overcome
Yeah,
adversity in every game, that's like signs of championship teams. And so yeah, I think that's what that's just what we need to do. And I think that'd be the easiest way. Because if you look at all the other teams, like I mean, there's that one clip that went viral of Nick Saban. I think they had like one penalty in the national championship, and like they were up by 20, and he's mother
oh,
effing the dude, and it's like that's the standard. Like
yeah.
you're not gonna if you're gonna beat me, it means you're better than me, and so I don't see a lot of matchups where we're outmatched, athletically.
Right, I think the difference maker came down to, are we going to beat ourselves? Because we had every position possible to win that game, and we did, because in the past, I
Yeah.
don't know, we might have beat ourselves at the end right there, but not. That's a big change to come out of South Bend with a win.
I mean, Elko, I said that just like you're asking if I ever doubted Klein. I never doubted Elko because one, like I said, I got firsthand experience how this guy operates. But second, I'm like, he won at Duke.
Yeah,
Like, there's
that's
no way like he just went to Duke and got lucky. He changed the whole mindset, and that's no disrespect to the previous coach at Duke, but he
no,
went there and it was like you just felt the difference. Like all of a sudden they're still losing games, but they're making it competitive with games that shouldn't be competitive, and it's like this is new. And now you get him with all the resources that A&M's providing, and you're starting to see how authentic he is as a person. And it's like, okay, this is why Duke won.
right, and that's why college football is such a unique sport. Because I mean, take UNC. I mean, you have Bill Belichick come in, and everyone, he's a legendary NFL coach. He comes into UNC and then gets blown out by TCU in his first game of the
Yeah.
year. Like, it's such
Granted, that roster is a dumpster fire right now, so I feel for him because the
he didn't
transfer
get much to
portal.
work with.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know what's going on up over there.
No, and thank goodness it's not my dumpster fire to deal with.
Yeah, we just gotta
But
enjoy this. Yeah, we just gotta just
one
keep
game
being
at a
humble and
time.
just one game at a time.
But given, okay, so we are 3-0, we're going into the bye week. There is one particular person on Twitter who is still really relishing in this game on Saturday. I think you know who it is. Terry McCauley.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
clapped back at me.
did he? I just got blocked immediately.
He it was ironic because I tweeted about him the other. It wasn't really about him, I don't think. I tweeted first about the situation, and uh and then I saw him like active on Twitter, and I was like, oh, okay. But I saw him say something like he was basically bashing our fans because we're so
Oh, yeah.
toxic. But then he said that it's actually crazy. He didn't say it in these words, like this is just how I'm explaining it.
Right.
He's like, it's crazy how all these fans are talking about me, yet they don't follow me or they don't engage with me. I tweeted the video of someone getting of the DB getting pushed by the receiver last year from Notre Dame at the end, which would have been a 15-yard personal foul, bumped them back, loss of like it just would have been it would have changed the whole dynamic. Like
Yeah.
they could have still won and beat us, but like it just would 15
Momentum
yards.
shifter.
It went from being plus on plus 50 to they would have been like back at the minus 35. So like it would have been a good situation. But I said surely Terry McCauley broke this down. Didn't tag him or anything. So it's like he quotes under it within like 5 seconds. So it's like
He was very
I
active.
was like, you don't follow me. Basically, you just contradicted yourself.
Yeah, you don't
But
engage with me?
but I kind of got a soft spot. I was like, I've watched this dude on TV. Like, let me respect my elders. Like, let me not be some asshole. Like, so he did say he's like, well, it's because it wasn't my network, so I didn't break it down. Like, blah blah blah. And he said this would have been a personal foul, and I just said thank you for your honest response. Like,
Very classy of you.
but I went back and looked. He's not breaking down games every week.
No.
He did the Notre Dame Miami, and it's like, dude, just do it. Like, you're the way he was acting. He can say he doesn't like the A&M fan base or we were being toxic. He wouldn't keep engaging if he didn't enjoy it. Like he's like, I'm
He's eating it up.
not disrespecting him. He's
No,
like
never.
he's relevant right now. Like people
Yeah, he's
are like
the
he like
engagement is at an
do it.
all-time high.
Yeah, build your brand. Like start doing it with more fan bases. Like you'll become more popular. Like we'll eventually stick up for you. Uh oh. Oh no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Sorry for the scare. Sorry for the scare. The little girl was crying. Something happened. She's fine.
We good.
I really didn't want to go in there because it's the part of Toy Story where Jessie like is telling her story of
Oh,
like getting. Yeah, I was like, I'm not trying to tear up.
no, it gets me.
Yeah, I don't watch Toy Story 3 when they have it on because I get so sad. I don't
No, the
watch Toy
kid I
Story
used to
3.
nanny, that's all he watched. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 over and
Yeah,
over.
I'm only watching Toy Story 1 because it's not sad to me.
Yeah, I can't get past that. No, Terry has been on a heater, and I can't blame him. All the engagement he's getting, I would do the same thing if I had a blue check.
Yeah, but it's like
At
I
a
just don't.
certain point.
I just don't get it because there's nobody from A&M denying it. Like we know it
Right.
was like, but like missed calls happen every game. Yes, it was in a big moment, but like I do feel bad for bashing on the Texas Arizona State game the way I did now though.
In hindsight, sure. But in the moment, you can only
No, in the moment, which like I said, I'm not mad at people for being upset, but like people are
yeah.
talking about, oh, we're gonna put an asterisk next to it. Like, all right, like don't take away from our win. Like
I
they
mean, you
had
can
missed
put an
calls
asterisk.
too.
It's a win, though. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
like
it's
we're not gonna downplay what we did. Like we just put up 41 points in South Bend. You can hate on Notre Dame's defense. The same people are like, "Oh, Notre Dame is blah blah blah." Are the same ones that are turning around and there's guys saying Notre Dame is still gonna make the playoffs because they're about to win out because they have a cake schedule. They'll be 10-2 with two losses to the two teams in the top 10. Like I'm not going for none of that. Like we still put up 41 points. Like don't let it come down to one play if you're that much better than us.
right. If you wanna complain, then make your extra point, make it a competitive game. And if you want to throw around the accusations that SEC refs saved A&M,
Go
go
watch any
look
of
at
our other games where we
go
don't
watch
get
our last season when we went 30 quarters without a
yeah.
holding call. And then
with
you can come
with
back to me.
three defensive linemen who are playing in the NFL on Sundays right now.
Right, and tell me there was not a single time they were being held. We can have a conversation.
Exactly.
But until then,
Yeah.
Terry, all love, even though I'm blocked.
Him and Lucci and them are still going at it.
Oh, Billy is not one to let down, even if he's wrong. He's just gonna dig himself a deeper hole. So I respect him for whatever he's doing. I'm surprised he hasn't been blocked. I've seen
Because
many
he
people blocked
enjoys
today.
it.
Oh, he feeds off
I
of
feel
it.
like if you're respectful, he's not gonna block. Not respect. I don't know. I got a
I
weird soft spot for old people, and I'm just like, let me not like. Because there's gonna be a time when I'm on Twitter as an old man. I got some young hothead who thinks he knows what he's talking about because he played football because he was an All American. I'm like, I'm not trying to. Let me not do that.
whatever.
I'm trying to
No,
grow.
I
I'm trying to
think
be a better person.
Right, and we
Um,
should all be rooting for Notre Dame to win out. So I have nothing against Terry, but I'm interested to see how long he continues his tirade. But until then, we have eight more games ahead of us. No, 9 more games ahead of us. So there's a long way to go in this season. And even last year, we lose this Notre Dame game. Arguably, I think Notre Dame needed to win this one more. Last year, we lost it, and then we still, midway through the season, are leading the SEC. We're going into Texas with a spot in Atlanta on the line.
I'm
So,
listening. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm getting my thoughts together. I'm wondering how. Oh, hey. I'm wondering how just a football team prepares for a bye week, and how do we prevent what happened last year? Obviously, LSU to South Carolina was a big letdown.
You say hi? You want to cry? Yeah. Sorry, she's doing the most right now. What? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Like all of a sudden, it's like we don't know what we're doing. Every kid wants all of a sudden they need me. They've been good the whole time. All of a sudden, mom walks out of the house, and now we forget how to act. Now we haven't been fed all night. We haven't had anything to drink, and so I completely apologize for being unprofessional on your show.
No, we love extra guests. We are all for it.
As you would think, me being 6'4", almost 30 years old next year, that my bully wouldn't be 1 years old, but here we
They pack
are.
a mean punch in a small body,
Yeah, here we are. I get bullied. I have to do everything she says, and she just takes everything she wants from me.
and we gotta let her. I don't blame her.
Yeah, I'm not telling her no. I'm not complaining, but it's just like wow, look at the times have changed.
Yeah.
Now I have a 1 year old bully.
No, what the question was, I'm wondering from an insider's perspective, how do y'all prepare for a bye week? And then also, how do you prevent that momentum shift? Because last year we came off of LSU off of a bye and then lost to South Carolina. So how do you not do that again coming into SEC play?
Be reminded of what we did last year against South Carolina. I'm sure Coach Elko is reminding them, and they're like, "We know what happened last year." But that's the benefits of having a team that's returning a lot of players is they remember that feeling, and so they're already being more aware. Um, Good luck anybody playing South Carolina at nighttime late in the season. Like you're already set up for failure. Same thing with Auburn, like those and Mississippi State. Like those are like three any night games really on the road in the SEC late in the year I don't want to play in. So that was our we were already kind of set up for failure with that. We were hot and I think like I said, I think the bye week's at a perfect time, but I haven't been there. Um I would imagine though that Elko is pretty business as usual. Like they're hitting everything the same way that they would if it wasn't a bye week. Maybe not. I don't know how many live periods they do or whatnot, but I I bet they're getting after it this week.
I would hope so. I have a lot more faith in this time around which obviously part of last year losing Le'Veon Moss during South Carolina doesn't help. So just
Yeah,
kind of
people forget that happened.
there's a big injury bug that has plagued our program that I'm hoping is mostly gone. I mean, it's going to happen. That's football, but prayers that we can keep that at bay, which we've mostly done so far. But getting into you a little bit, you went to Kansas, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College, then came to A&M. Obviously, big jumps from place to place. I know when you were at Kansas, it wasn't so hot. So I think
Yes.
that jump to A&M is even bigger than it would be. But talk about what kind of brought you to A&M and yeah, that whole process.
Uh, well, honestly, I didn't. I was going to go to Florida State because that's who was recruiting me. It was Coach Craig off the Florida State account, and before that, I was going to go to Boise State. But for the only reason why I didn't commit to Boise was because my coach was at JUCO at the time was like, "Hey, just kind of let your emotional adrenaline calm down. I know you're super excited and you want, but like there might be something else that comes along." And he had no idea about the Florida State thing. And then literally that next week, it was Thanksgiving. Got in contact with Florida State. They had talked to me, and then I started hearing rumors. Like I'm a sports nerd. I keep up with all the coaching rumors and whatnot. And I knew that it was kind of anticipated. And there was rumors that Jimbo was leaving, and they just kind of let me know that he was like, "Hey, we're either gonna be at Florida State or A&M. Like regardless, Coach Fisher wants you. And at the time, I was like, that's all I needed to hear because I immediately started thinking of like Nick O'Leary and Ryan Izzo at the time because like they get the ball. So I was like, if I think I'm good enough, I'll at least find out. Oh my goodness, that is so loud. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to
Like
apologize.
he is just taking. He just. Yeah, you got me
No, they're
back.
speaking their mind. Freedom of
Yeah,
speech.
yeah, that's what they're just. I'm taking too long. They said. Look, they just sidetracked me. I was making a whole point rambling. What was I talking
Your
about?
recruiting
Oh, recruit.
process,
Sorry,
how
yeah,
you ended
recruiting
up.
process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and see, and then, but they were like, don't. They weren't like, don't tell anybody we're offering you, but it was like, we're not gonna officially offer you because we're waiting to see. And so like, I was really in limbo for like a couple of days. Like, dang, am I getting my leg pulled? Is this even like a real thing? Like, I got Boise blowing me up. Where am I gonna go? And then, not even kidding, like Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it went across the ticker that Florida, like I was refreshing Twitter every 5 minutes, just waiting for some breaking news to come on. Like I'm searching Jimbo, trying to see what all the beat writers are saying.
We're doing
And
the
then,
same thing.
yeah, then it came across the ticker that Jimbo Fisher was going to A&M. He called me immediately and scheduled my official visit. Left that Thursday or flew out that Friday morning with the family, and then I committed on Sunday. Like I was the first, and then I was Jimbo's first recruit. So
Yeah,
I do take pride. That's why I'll forever be Team Jimbo. Like, not obviously I want Elko and everyone to do good, but like you'll never hear me slander Jimbo. Like he gave me the opportunity for everything.
yeah. No, it's I didn't realize it was that quick of a turnaround, but there you go. And then
Yeah.
you here at A&M, go to the
Oh,
NFL.
side note, because me and my
Oh,
dad were just talking about it. It's actually funny because after I committed to after I committed to A&M, I got a call from Josh Heupel, who was I first met him when he was recruiting when he was at Oklahoma, and they didn't want to recruit me. I'm petty. He didn't want to recruit me at
it's your
Oklahoma.
home state.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy, right? Neither did Oklahoma State, but shout out Mike Gundy. Uh, so then he's at UCF at the time, and he's like, "You're gonna fall for that SEC propaganda. You're gonna go up there and be a complete regular person. They're not gonna treat you special. They're not gonna bump like just ripping the SEC."
Well, look at
Same.
him now.
That's what I'm saying. Now he's pouring the Kool-Aid for everybody to drink. It's
Oh yeah.
there's orange Kool-Aid for everybody. Coach Harsin did the same thing, and then he went to Auburn. I'm like, you guys are so
They
full of
always end
sh-.
up. They always
Yeah, I'm
end
like,
up.
y'all are so full of it. Like Hyper was like mad at like I'm at the airport in College Station. He's on the phone with me, like dogging me out. Like, you're really gonna do this? Like, granted, I would have went crazy at UCF because it was like I think it was Mackenzie Milton was the quarterback. Like that
Oh
UCF,
yeah.
those UCF teams were good. Like they were good.
They were.
Yeah, but I just enjoy that now watching him like watching him Saturday against George. I'm just like
Oh yeah. All roads lead to the SEC, and we are
exactly.
very thankful that you chose A&M. So there you go.
Likewise.
But you had a journey. You end up at A&M, then you go to the NFL, play in the USFL. Talk me a little bit through that journey. You're still in the USFL. You just had back
No, yeah, not really.
ish, ish,
No, not
ish.
no
No,
more. No, not no more. I'm not.
you had your time.
Yeah, yeah, I had my time. Like I said, I bounced around a lot. I was in Green Bay for like 2.5 years, and then yeah, like I said, it was an interesting journey. It definitely wasn't like the one I like dreamed of by any means, but concussions, and then there's like I said, at the end of the day, it really is a business, and it was a great experience. Like I said, I met a lot of cool people. I got to be around a lot of cool people, coaches, legendary coaches. I was fortunate. Every quarterback I played with, I think, is going to arguably at least some point be in consideration. Sorry, I got to open these fruit snacks. Priorities. Don't tell mom. It's 8 o'clock, and they're still going to have their Welch's. They're healthy.
Yeah, we'll keep them separate. They're getting their fruit in.
You have to touch me up. What was I just saying again? You
Just
think
your
I'm joking,
time.
but I really forgot. Time in Green Bay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no, it was great. Like I said, I played with Aaron Rodgers. Then I went to Seattle and it was Russell Wilson. So I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. Then I go to Pittsburgh. It was Ben Roethlisberger. Granted, he never spoke to me the month I was there because I got there at the end of the season. I was at the Commanders. Shout out my dog Taylor Heineke. He obviously isn't in the category as the other guys, but that was cool.
Still.
And that was when they just switched to the Commanders, so it was
Oh yeah.
interesting there.
There you
I
go.
would get this. The first day I got signed, that's the one thing. My NFL career wasn't the longest as anybody's, but I would love to go story for story with anybody because I promise I had some of the craziest, unique situations. Prime example, I was the first player to get Shh. I was the first player to get COVID in Green Bay. Like, so I was the guinea pig. I missed like the first 2.5 weeks of practice because there wasn't a proper protocol. I was getting tested every day. Like,
Yeah, you're like the Rudy Gobert of COVID.
I was literally the guinea pig for the Green Bay Packers. And then like people got it right after me because I was spread.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, exactly. The followers. Uh, when I got to Washington, the first day I was signed, I don't know if you look it up. There was like a huge DEA rate. The complex got raided by DEA federals because the athletic trainers were like selling drugs or selling the pharmaceuticals. Like I'm saying, like it was some crazy like high level like I'm saying like black trucks everywhere. They were people couldn't leave the building. It was I'm just like, what the hell? And I had just came from Seattle. I was on a red eye. I lost 3 hours of sleep. I'm exhausted. The next thing I knew, there's DEA agents everywhere. I'm like, are we filming a movie right now?
Someone didn't let you in on the insider secrets, apparently.
Yeah, like I'm just telling you, there was so many different things going on. Like I said, but the fanboy in me meeting Mike Tomlin and Pete Carroll was like two of the coolest things for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like that was because my mom's a coach. I just always appreciated coaching. Like she was always talking about John Wooden and Coach K, and like she was a basketball coach, so it's like
Yeah.
I've always just admired coaching because I just know what goes into it, and so
Right.
yeah, like the fanboy in me, that was the coolest part about the draft process was doing my 30 for 30 visits because I was considered a wild card because I only had 1 year production. It came out of
Mhm.
nowhere. Who am I? Am I a catfish? So it's like I met with dang near every team, and that was just like probably the fanboy in me. Like I used to be like my dad used to call me Sports Center when I was a kid because it was like not because I was making Sports Center top plays because it was like I knew all the
The
stat.
knowledge.
Yeah, just whatever we needed to talk about, I could carry the conversation for him.
Well, you've been doing that tonight just fine. And now I'm sad because there is a quota. We have to leave soon, but you've got stories for days. So I'm hoping to
Yeah.
see more of these come up. But before we wrap up, I have to do my shining star segment. This is where I highlight my shining star of the week. Obviously, Mario Craver is our shining star of the week. We know him, we love him. He was worth every penny in the transfer portal, and I can't wait to see what he continues to do. And our final segment of the show is where we do our hot takes. I call it the fire pit. So my hot take is I actually just made a bet last night on social media that if A&M loses to Texas in DKR, I have to go out on 6th Street that night dressed as a Silver Spur, which is those people that handle Bevo. So that is my
I did see that. I didn't know what a silver spur was. I was like, that must be like a Texas, like a country thing. Like she's just gonna dress like really like in all glitter or something. I had no
I
idea.
had to look it up. They wear burnt orange polos and khakis and cowboy hats. So I am so thankful that I won't have to do that because we will win. So if you have any hot takes, we've got a couple more minutes throwing out there.
Uh,
A&M or college football as a whole.
I'm not gonna. You guys can call my bluff. It's not really a hot take, but I just want to admire. I had like one of the craziest hot takes of the year, but it already got proved right. And I have multiple receipts of me talking to all my college football buddies that I like talk ball with. And I said from day one, once I looked at the schedules, I said, don't be surprised if Clemson starts 1-2. And I called the LSU and Georgia Tech loss. Like, that's probably one of my proudest moments of the year so far. So I don't have a
There we
hot take,
go.
but it's because like just like the A&M team being emotionally hungover from Notre Dame, I'm emotionally hungover from that hot take. Like, because that was a big, like, I made that
You're
in
riding a high
August.
right now.
Yeah, I made that. I'm proud of that. I did that in August. I was like, they're going to be 1-2.
We can mark that down, and it's recorded now. It's live. Everyone knows that you prophesized Clemson's downfall. Not to say
Yeah.
that they can't still make the playoffs, but it's a rough road ahead for them.
Yeah, it would. I don't know. I
It,
don't
it,
think
it,
so.
it might take a miracle, but who knows what Dabo can cook up.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all I've got for tonight. I know that people can find you on Twitter. You're still pretty
Yes.
active on there, so everyone feel
Still there.
free. He is just like us. He is live tweeting just alongside all of us. So his heart's in it. He's riding the same emotional high we all are. But with that being said, thank you so much, Jace, for joining us tonight.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yep, and thank you for your time at A&M. It was a very special year, capped off with the lovely LSU 7 overtime game, which we all know and we all love, and we all are probably still emotionally recovering from. So thank you again.
No problem.
Wishing you a very happy evening and a very restful evening with your kiddos.
Thank you very much.